Now to Donald Trump and the Never Trump people. This ad blitz is coming as he's facing resistance from his own party. Still, the Never Trump movement, as it's known, is flooding swing states with ads, and they're urging him to drop out of the race. So with that, what will the effect be? Let's talk now to Ashley Pratte, conservative commentator. Ned Ryun is also with us, former Bush 43 speechwriter. And Ashley, let me start with you. The Never Trump people had been kind of written off, I think, in a lot of circles. Said, all right, he's done. Let's move on to the general election. He's done with those people, but maybe not. Is there an effect in the swing states of an ad blitz like this?
I think so. I think as he continues to fall in the polls and he continues to show that he's wildly unprepared for the office that he's seeking, there's a lot of Republicans who still feel this way. There's over 70% of Republicans who did not vote for him in the primary. And yes, while he has a lot of supporters who are very vocal and who are very active out there right now, there are a lot of Republicans who are on the fence and realize that this isn't handing over a vote to Hillary Clinton by doing that. It is saying that we stand firmly with conservative principles and that a vote for him could be just as bad as a vote for Clinton.
But a vote for someone else could, and I was having this discussion, Ned, with someone earlier in the show who's a conservative is a conservative, but is not convinced about Trump yet, and he said that he may vote for, Evan McMullen or do, somebody, or Gary Johnson or whatever the case may be, and said that's voting his conscience. But that would, in effect, help Hillary Clinton. I mean, it just would.
I mean, let's face it, I do think these ads are a bit quixotic. It's a relatively small ad buy, Connell, to be fair. It's only in 4 states, and it's only a 5-figure buy, which is very small. But the fact of the matter is, listen, either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump is going to be president. Any conversation about anything else right now is just a fundamentally unserious conversation. So sometimes, and many times, politics is a binary choice. Do you want Hillary picking judges, or do you want Trump? Do you want to reform or repeal Obamacare, reform and replace? Hillary's never going to touch that thing, whereas Trump, you've got a shot. Do you want immigration reform? With Hillary, no chance. With Trump, a chance. I think with some of this behavior, though, listen, politics is not the art of perfection. It's the art of the possible. Here we are almost in September. If you want to have a positive impact and feel that you can't support Trump, why don't you put money in supporting some of the good Senate candidates that are out there?
Sit out the presidential election? Is that because there are people in that. So sit it out.
There are people in that category, and I fully applaud that decision. If they can't get behind Trump, that's fine. I understand that. We know that he's not a full-spectrum conservative. We understand that. If you want to have a positive impact, go help Ron Johnson. Go help Pat Toomey. Help these guys that right now.
I would be the first to agree with you on that.
Go ahead, Ashley.
I would be the first to agree with you on that. I'm a Never Trump Republican because I believe in conservative principles, and he from day one has not represented any of the issues that I care about. But yes,
that means he's going to lose, right?
I mean,
that means he's going to lose. The Republicans could hold on to the Senate or the House, but if his Republican support doesn't get up around 90% or whatever people say it needs to be from the 70s, then he'll lose.
I'm not saying that I support Hillary Clinton. What I am saying is that a vote for him, to me, is just as bad as a vote for her, because on a lot of issues, he does not stand for conservative values, and he flip-flops on them in ways that we would have chastised Republicans for in 12 and 08, which we did with McCain and Romney. But his supporters are not doing the same thing now, and that is a problem because he does flip-flop on these issues. He has never understood them from a Republican textbook sense of the word, I guess.
But actually, I would disagree that a vote for Trump is the exact same as a vote for Hillary. I mean, there's some big issues there in which they are on the opposite side of it, whether it's judges, whether it's Obamacare, whether it's immigration. So I would disagree with that.
When it comes to judges, though, he said that he would appoint his sister, and he said that right at the beginning of the primary.
No, he put out a list of 11 judges who were Federalist Society rock stars.
So I'm saying, yes, he has moved on that issue, but from the beginning, he had mentioned something to the effect of putting his sister there who was a pro-choice liberal Democrat.
But she wasn't on the list of people he put out.
And
he did. I'm saying he amended that later, but that's part of the flip-flopping that he has done that does have me worried. When it comes down to it, will he pay for play?
And that's fine. Your point is, though, you're out completely. There's nothing he can say.
There's nothing he can say or do at this point that would, no. And Hillary Clinton
you say to someone like Ashley, she should just sit out. You'd like to see her just sit out the presidential race.
No, actually, what I'd love to see her do is
support the down ballot candidates on the Republican side.
Exactly. If you can't be involved in that situation, again, what these Never Trumpers are doing with these ads, they are. You don't act in a vacuum. There are consequences to actions. This is not happening in a vacuum. These TV ads, though limited in their buy, will have an effect, and a negative effect on Trump and a positive effect on Hillary. But those that can't support Trump, and I understand that, trust me, believe me, I do. They need to be out there supporting good Senate candidates, good congressional candidates.
I completely agree with you.
Should Hillary win the White House, we need to have...
She's going to do that.
Exactly. That's great. We have to have that bastion in the Senate and the House.
I think the one thing we need to realize here, though, is never Trump Republicans are not casting votes for Hillary. There are some that are. There are some Republicans that are saying, you know what, I will vote for her. But there's a lot of them who are saying both of them, to me, are terrible choices. And then had he represented conservative values from day one, maybe it would be a lot easier to stomach some of the ridiculous things that he says.
Vote, if you want to call it that, for an Evan McMullen or somebody like that. Or
at this point, look, I think the problem here is at this point, he is doing it to himself. His poll numbers are so low that at the end of the day, my one vote is not going to throw this off. But yes, you could say a collective we of never Trumpers, right? The collective we of never Trumpers go out and don't vote.
Exactly, equals a lot. So
equals a lot.
But he's done that to himself because he has not won over conservative voters.
Okay, we have to run right now. It's a good discussion back and forth on the effect of all of this. We appreciate both of you coming on.
Thanks, Connell.
To share your points of view.